Kindly, Senator Pimentel, good day to you, sir. Boy, magagalit si Senator Pimentel sa akin sa 2 pages. And besides, I would want to say something more than just what is written here. I'd like to acknowledge the Executive Secretary Salvador Medaldi and the members of the Cabinet, our newly appointed government officials, ladies and gentlemen. I have the option to make it short. So, I think there's no need for me to really expound any further in addition to what I have proclaimed publicly all these days and there's so many weeks past regarding government service and the degree of loyalty that we must nurture to be really a true Filipino. I have fired several, and I hope I would not have to do it again because I do not like it. But I have fired so many officials of government for one reason or another. But the latest of those who really were abusing the use of public funds. And I was referring to, I hope she doesn't mind it because it's true, the shed, marina, the guys was responsible for the moorings there of the ships, and many others, including the SSS. I am not ready to say that they have sinned against the government, but maybe I'll just say that there's always a time to be in government and to be not in government. But what is very important today is that we have also with us the illustrious Filipinos who would be responsible in guiding this country into the future. Let me just say that in the matter of the commission that I have appointed to give us the advice, the wise experience that you have had to steer something that will guide us to the future. Let me be really frank. And these are the guys, they can tell you, not because I am not sure of myself, but as an added information, you can ask all the military men who are here, used to be my one time or another, their sojourn in Davao in their career in the military. And most of them experienced Mindanao. The sole singular reason why really I want a federal setup or at least a change in the reconfiguration is because we want to avoid a fissure in Mindanao. Sabihin ko sa inyo, pag hindi ito na ayos, there will be trouble. I'm not saying it will be a war, I'm not saying it will be a battlefield, but there will be trouble. And at the stage of our national life, when you're supposed to be working to develop our country for the next generation, taking into account the average age of us now here, and it falls on it behoves upon us, on our shoulders, the burden of trying to figure out what is good for the future. Magkagulo talaga ito. I'm not saying that we will be overwhelmed. What I'm saying is that we are trying to avoid a fissure in Mindanao because we need peace to move forward. Mindanao is below the typhoon belt, and it is really conducive for farming and for manufacturing. The weakest link in our economy now is the agricultural sector. What we envision is really a manufacturing in the agricultural sector. That's the only way to pull them up. And if we can do that, we shall have improved the average of the life of a Filipino in the comfortable level. Yan lang ho ang gusto ko. With the 3 years remaining, I am also in a hurry to go down. But if we can have, if you guys want to have a system where you have a president like the French experience, with the parliament, a prime minister and a president, if we can have that in 2020, I will commit to you now. You do not have to remind me. If there can be a working federal setup by the year 2020, I am going to step down. I do not want any transition position. I do not have any plans of perpetuating myself in power. It ain't in my system. And I've told the military time and again, as good as any other time, that if I overstay even for 24 hours here in Malacañan, you can arrest me and shoot me. It is your duty to see to it. If I go before this time, to see to it that the rules of succession in our Constitution be followed. I could not be more clear on this, and I would rather abbreviate my term rather than extend it. Ang akin lang ngayon is, remember, I just made 4 basic promises. I'm not into politics anymore. But just let me remind you, except for the Mindanaoans, a few leaders there, and even the official itself. I could only remember with Aimee Marcos, Abet of Bataan, Subiri, of course, Cagayan, and Davao. That was, ni isang barangay captain wala ako dito sa Manila. But I won. So what does that indicate? I asked my wife right after. Wala akong pera, wala akong leader. I won by 15 million, 6 of which was my margin over the next guy. And so I said, maybe I was carrying the message. And what was that? I said, I will only try to stop corruption. Then I will try to control drugs. And then I said that I will talk to the enemies of the state, which I'm doing now. And then I said I will allow the managers of this, economic managers of this country to do their thing. I am telling you now, and on my oath as president, no contracts ever arrives Malacañan. It's all for the decision of those who are there. If it's a DICT thing, kanya yan. If it's about international monetary agreements or loans, kay Dominguez yan. I do not sign anything, and there is no paper, MRT or whatnot. Walang dumadating dito sa akin. And you can ask, you can look at the books. I purposely did it because I know that I do not want my name to be linked anything at all with something like that. Kaya yung frigate, that was signed before. Dito, it was just a matter of a complaint. Yung napanalo, why is there no voucher or anything that would empower them to deliver? I told everybody before, if you have a complaint, especially about graft and corruption, you can come to Malacañan anytime. I will give you the space and I will listen to you. And that goes well. Maybe that's why they came here. Pero sabihin mo na walang papel dito, no? Absolutely. There can be no time that you have to call me to explain anything there. Because I do not hold the papers. I do not allow them inside my office. So, gano'n na lang ako ka-stricto. And this thing about destroying the cars, I was in Cebu last night and I have complaints about, we go into the rigmarole again. The import, the consignee is fictitious. Then with the corrupt office there in the customs, the auction section. And after a while they are being parked inside the warehouses, if the time comes for government to make the accounting, they would conduct the auction and sell it to the people who really in the first place were responsible of importing them. And this insanity has to stop. So from now on, there will be no auction of smuggled goods. It will be destroyed once the period of redeeming it. And I will take note of those people who are there. I will no longer allow gangs of, even in the matter of the lowest bid. I dare say, yung lowest bid na yan is the source of all corruptions, down to the barangay level. There are a group of idiots here going around, playing golf, just waiting for a word or two. Where is the bidding now? It's a group. So they go there and bid out each other. But they are a group. So they would go into a dive and they will win. And they will start to, right at the start, the 30% is there. Then the engineer gets it. And if you have a contact here, the office of the president does it. Congressman. So out of the 100 million projects, you get to start with maybe 85. And that is why the projects cannot last. Because if you have to spend all for the project, all of it, the money, then he has no profit. And the gang of Filipino idiots would make hay forever. So ako ngayon, somebody said in Congress that it is not possible. So why is it not possible? If it will save money for the people, why can't it be possible? So now if there are projects, it's going to be a turnkey. Make me this project according to my specific orders. And if it's good, I will pay you. Now, if you make a mess out of the project, and you abbreviate things there affecting the quality and all, I will not pay you. So it's your gamble, not mine. All the projects henceforth in this until the end of my term will be on a turnkey basis. I will not listen to that co-order. You know very well that this has perpetrated the corruption in this country. Why would I stick to it? I will not obey you. If it is not to the interest of my country, I will not obey you. You can go to hell. So that's the thing. I'm talking about corruption because I'm not here to lecture on you. I'm just explaining the things that what I did in the past. Because there are a lot of terminations going on. And the first of that, what really started, what got my goat there was somebody whispered to me that, "Oh, Mayor, I like to be called Mayor. I do not want to be called President. It's a, there was never a paradigm shift of my persona from the mayorship to the presidency. So if they say that I have a bad mouth, totoo yan. True. Sabihin nila na bastos ako, talagang bastos ako. So no problem about it. I admit. Galing ako kanal eh. So I started as, I would not want to be melodramatic here, but galing rin ako doon. Duterte is not a statesman. I never took the subject of statesmanship. None of it actually. Pero kung sabihin mo na me and my big mouth, well, you might want to call that, but in my time, what I said, not during my watch, wag sa panahon ko. And I said it about last week and I was talking to the police. There was this donation by the JICA, Japanese government, of 26 brand new. Mabuti pa ang mga gago. May mga brand new Montero sila. Ako nga pick up lang eh. And all of you know that hanggang pick up lang. Kasi I have a problem with the police. I'm okay with the military. But time to time may musulpot itong problema sa police. Really. So I'm more stricter with the police. But anyway, I will not take much of your time. I'm only saying that I would like to continue on my corruption. I am at it. Drugs, demanda na nga ako. Do not worry about me. I can face the ICC. If they want to indict me and convict me, fine. I will gladly do it for my country. Sabi ko sa kanila, find a place where they allow execution by firing squad. I would love to experience what Rizal experienced too. And of course, itong I'm just a simple man. I'm just an ordinary person, a worker of government. At ang dyan is, when I took my oath of office, in two sentences I said, I swear before God and country that I will protect my nation, that I will also have to protect the people. That's about it. I did not say na, sige, I will only kill the rich but not the poor. I do not have that luxury. What I'm saying, if it does result in a, I have to enforce the law, or else I will compromise this country. Now, mind you, there's a new development. Cocaine has entered into the picture. We have this PDEA, si chairman ang nandito, si General Coy, who was my chief of police. Shabu is an article, an item, commodity for the poor. Nasabihin lang, bakit pinapatay ni Duterte puro mahirap? Kasi they do it openly. The peddling. It's really a poor man's cocaine. Cocaine now has entered into the picture, and you saw in the several days before, plastic bins washed ashore with GPS. They are cooked in the trawlers along the international waters, then they throw it overboard, jettison it, and there's a GPS for the Filipino criminal to get it, and yan ang lumalaki yung problema ko. But as I have said, to the very last day of my term, the drug campaign will last until the day of my term. And if I run into a gamut of problems, then I'll just have to say, so be it. Gusto ko lang malaman na if I rein my horses, I would have compromised the next generation. Remember, very poor country. And even the generals there, they retire at the age of 56. Soldiers, they retire at the age of 56. It's about the time that the weakened immune system and all weakens, papasok na lahat. For the soldiers, karamihan na dito, puro kidney ang tama niya. I don't know why, but it's the prevalent disease. And all the others, hypertension, diabetes, heart, pati ako, pati sila. I don't know about you. How much will you receive after this? Me, when I retire, maybe pegged to the last salary. On the average, 4 million. I'm now 72. If I retire at the age of 56, I get about 3, 4, 5. And I get to live for another 6 or 7 years. Can you really say that it can sustain my medications, my food, everything? I do not want to depend on my children because they would have a problem of their own by that time. But who's going to feed me? Who's going to pay for my antibiotics? Who's going to buy the oxygen that I would need? And I'll pay for the hospitals eventually. Who will pay for the burial? Would that... Itong mga durugista, ang market nila ang mahirap. Wala nang ang pension. Kami, ganoon rin. It cannot sustain us. Now, if you feed my children with drugs, Mama, who'll spoon feed for me? One last item. Ito ang nangyayari ngayon sa ano. Hindi ko na talaga kaya. Kasi ako pumutok talaga ng... Way back when I was a congressman, 3 Filipino women were arrested by the religious police in Kuwait for distributing rosaries. And since 2 of them came from Davao City, sa Toril district, and so they were there every day crying, the family. So my wife told them, why don't you do something to? Kawawa naman ito. Early morning, nandyan na. So I decided to go to Riyadh. I invited the Moro congressmen to help me plead their case before the king. And so Pumunta kami, nakiusap kami, they were released. But the chief minister of the king told me straight, who's in charge of law, something like law and order? I said, I am. Because I was a member of the Law and Order Committee at that time, the 11th Congress. Kami yung nag-impeach kay Estrada. Ako yung pinapunta. I went to Parliament. Ito ang sinabi niya. Not all. Let me make that statement opening. Not all. But there are Arabs, especially of the different tribes there. There are different tribes. If you work for them as a slave, if you are bought from the slave markets of Africa or the Middle East, or if you work for them, my bayad, you are treated as a slave. And sexual abuse is really part of it. At that time, ay nakikinig na kasi camera, I kept that information to myself. Why? Because I would be creating so many cobwebs in the minds of the husbands who are here. They will begin to think of the wild things that he has done to his wife in the past, and he would think every night that is the wife is also enjoying there. When as a matter of fact, they are raped on a daily basis. Kaya malakas yung pills doon. You know, the first to take advantage of the slave would be the employer. Then the son and the son-in-law. Tapos yung mga barkada, yung mga pinsan. So the human body and the mental state can only take so much. Nakita mo tumatalon ang they hang or tumatalon. And that was brought to light the other night. I was flying to Davao. Meron na akong mga pictures about the abuse. Nung paglanding ko sa Davao, nakita ko yung paborito ganang pinaplansya nila tao. I'll give it copies all of it. That's the usual case. They are raped, abused, used as animals. Titaga mo kato, yung plancha. Kaya pumutok ako. Sabi ko, putang ina mong mga leche kayo. Maybe I could not take it anymore. As I've said, a very bad mouth. Ganoon, putang ina ko. Tapos tinawagan ko sana. Sabi ko kay Bibot naman, and I can understand him because the Secretary of Justice, Department of Dole, is responsible also for the markets that we can go to. Sabi ko, what would be the sin of this Filipina? Sabi ko doon sa mga taga-Kuwait, and I'm repeating it, what have we done to you to deserve this kind of treatment for my countrymen? The past administration, pagka ganon, it's treated as a sobrosa. Then, quietly ministerial. Ay putang, kung hindi ko kaya yan, sabi ko, no, don't give me that shit about just keeping silent. I will confront them. So, Bebot said, we'll just suspend. No. I want a total ban. And they can come here and we'll have to support them. Ubusin natin itong pera natin na ito. Hindi naman ito atin. Belongs to the people. Oh, they will subsidize them. You come home. And I will sell my soul to the devil to look for money so that you can come home and live comfortably here. Hindi na kaya ng katawan. Abuse then mentally. Kaya pagdating dito, it's a mentally drained. And that is why I'm trying to come up with a peaceful solution for all. Drugs has to go. Kasi alam mo bakit? Kung kayo ng mga tondo pandakan, these idiot criminals, alam nila kung sino yung may pera. Diyan sa tondo yung street na yan. Nanay niya, tatay niya nagtatrabaho. Maawa ka sa Pilipino because when a Filipino family loses the husband and go abroad to work, that family becomes dysfunctional already without a father, husband. When both husband and wife go out to earn livelihood, to send their children to school, and they endure abuses and pain and humiliation, degradation. Pagpapadala ng pera nila dito sa mga anak nila, itong mga drugista, ipapakain mo sa kanila, itong nagsakripisyo doon, ganito ang nangyari. She will come home frustrated and terribly desperate. Despite or in spite of being treated as an animal abroad, walang natapos ang mga anak niya kasi kinukunik ka. And that's why I said, when I was mayor, I'm building a city. I am not a policeman or a soldier. Do not destroy the city because I will kill you. Do not destroy the young because I will kill you, period. And so that human right, for all of the short-sightedness, how they come on repeating that I say those words so emboldened. Look, itong mga police na ito, it's 2 years, 4 years yan. PNP. 4 years yan. They are told to only to obey legal orders. But when I express myself, I will kill you, I am expressing a personal outrage. I never ordered anybody, not a single security guard even, na patayin mo siya si Mr. Santos, patayin ni Mr. Cruz, patayin mo dito si Mr. Kasi galit ako. And besides, that warning will serve maybe as a deterrent. Or would you rather I go ahead without a warning and kill all these idiots? Kaya when I became president, I made the same pronouncement. That is to protect. I said, my job is to protect the people and unite this country. Ito mga komunista, isa rin. At the end of the day, it turns out that they want a coalition government. You know, sovereignty belongs to the people. It is delegated to a certain set of officers, but they must be elected. Itong komunista wants to join government, participate in a governance and a coalition, wala lang ang gasto sa eleksyon, baski piso. Tapos ako pa ang takutin ngayon na kill 1 Filipino soldiers a day. Kwenta-kwenta ko, pag it will last for 4 years, I'll be spending about billions. Then I made a counter offer. If you are a CAFGO or anybody, you kill 1 NPA and I will pay you 25,000. Kwenta-kwenta ko, mas makamura ako. Bilihin ko na lang itong mga yawa na ito. Buisit. Bakit ako matakot sa kanila? May Navy ako, may Air Force ako, may sundalo ako. May kapgo ako, may army ako. Tapos you want a coalition of forcing us. Tapos maglilinya pa niya sa revolusyon, revolusyon. Duterte, US Duterte. Putang ina, kailan pa ba ako naging bata ng Amerikano? I don't even talk to them. Ambassador. Ito mga Amerikano, sarhinto lang kung magsalita, akala mo mga koronel. Get out, I do not want to talk to you. Revolution, revolution. Sabi ko minsan, nagsawa ko, ni cabinet meeting. Gusto niyo revolution? Okay, I will declare a revolutionary government. Duterte, may mga yelo. Duterte, diktador. Di ko. Kung kayo ang mag-revolution, okay, ako hindi. Ako yung may makinarya, tapos ako pa yung tarantado talaga itong mga komunista. Yung mga yelo. Mga Trillanes, nandoon sa Amerika, nagka-campaign. Have you seen the footage? They arranged there a certain meeting. Inaway siya ng mga tao doon, mga babae. Pinagsisigawan sila. Ayan. Well, these are all allowed in politics. All in a day's work. But yung mga outrage ko sa meron mo yun nilagay sa freezer for 1 year. Sabi niya, dandahan ka lang, Rod, kasi thousands are there working. Pauwiin mo na yan sila. Appeal to their patriotism. Ngayon, nandiyan yung 3 Arabo, gusto ako makausap. Kaya pag mauwi yan, mga doktor, engineer, lahat bagsak yung ekonomi nila. Really. And the problem is, ang masakit ngayon is, you know that, alam niyo yan. Yung mga construction workers, nag-slow down. Walang master plumber, walang master electricians, walang master. Hindi ka naman pwedeng magpulot dyan sa Mindula, tapos sige, punta ka dito, gawain mo yan. That's why I said I'm strengthening TESDA for the eventual returns, including the rebels. I'm paying the rebels who nag-surrender 2,000 daily just to learn livelihood skills sa TESDA. That's the only way also we cannot fight forever. And surely, government cannot really wage a war against its own people. So, ano-ano lang tayo. Now, I've enlisted you in the service. Kindly help me. Total, hindi ma rin kayo magtagal. After this, maybe, except for the Constitutional Commission. Ako, sir, ayaw kong magsalita. As much as possible, I want to give you the enough leeway. Na hindi baka gusto ni Presidente. I do not want you to spill it. I have no, except that if we can produce a working document that will ensure something like for good for even just about 7 generations. Beyond that, we leave to them the final decision of what will also happen to their. But we are now caught in Korea, itong atin. It is a very troubled nation, world. So we're here to just make a happy balance, if not a compromise, so that para naman angat ang Pilipinas. But the economy is working, it's good. Crime has lowered considerably. Drugs is on the wane, but cocaine is... Madali kasing hulihin itong sabi mga pobre sila ang nahuli. Because they're rich. They have their yacht. They have the resorts in the mountains. They have the airplanes. And nobody would just mess up with them. Ang kawawa itong mga... At hindi naman ito nasabihin mo na... Because they are really ignorant of the ways of how to destroy. If you destroy my country, hindi talaga tila papalusutin. I will really kill you. Sinabi ko, Wala akong sinabing, the army, I will order the army to kill you. It is a personal outrage actually. I will kill you. I will destroy you. But ang order ko sa kanila is destroy the apparatus and organization. Kasi ang drugs cannot work without an organization. So may tiga-luto, may tiga-lieutenants to make the distribution to the basurero. Ang basurero yung peddlers nandoon sa streets. So, in law, if it is an organized crime, the act of one is the act of all. The liability of one is the same for the liability of all. Kaya sabihin, bakit si Duterte, yung mga mahirap, ayun lang kasi ang nakikita ninyo, kasi yun lang naman ang nahuli na lumalaban. But of course, in Argonne, matagal ako mayor, maraming tarantado talaga na pulis. Pero not as much as those who are dedicated to the service of the nation. But meron talaga mga, pati yung hingi. Ay, alam, ilang beses na ako nagbugbog ng pulis. Kung sipain ko yan sa stasyon nila noon. But, you know, there's always a time to be decent, time to be hanggang salita ka na lang. I cannot go out there and maul all those idiots there. Bugbugin mo sa sila. There's a time that I'm always alone here. Kaya pala yung plate number. By the way, wala akong plate number. I do not use it. And no cabinet member is allowed to use the 6. Kasi 6, one is the president. If you use one, you deserve it. You're a very lonely man and you will die of boredom there. Nobody is allowed. Yung number 2, kaya ako I just said it in a parang passing remark, but I like the quotation which I did utter. Pinakopya ko kay Bong yung aid ko. Ang problema, nilagyan niya ng litrato ko yung sa Marawi ako. Pahingi nga isa. Putulin lang nila itong mukha ko. Di ko ito binibigay sa public. Only a few. Sabi ko kasi sa mga pulis doon sa Davao, not during my watch. Wag sa panahon ko. Then I said, I like it. Ang problema, nilagyan na ng litrato. Kung gano'n lang sana yun, nagpagawa ako na ito, bigyan ko kayo. Not during my watch. Wag sa panahon ko. Mag-aaway tayo. So, biglang ko lang si Boy kay walking advertisement. Yeah, yung bigay ko kay Boy. Siya yung dadaliro eh. Siya yung paano sa'yo. So, thank you for listening. A very combative speech. But I have to make it to make my... Ayun lang ang guide ko. But total, it will be reviewed. But at this time, I am not ready to inject anything there. I do not want you to have second thoughts about this kind of... Baka hindi gusto. I leave it up to you. Kung ano yung gusto ninyo para sa bayan natin. And I know that you would not do anything harmful to the country. So, thank you for the appointment this time and for the appointments to the different offices of the government. Maraming salamat po.